everybody, welcome to Outcast Collective. This is our Thursday night show. We are excited to be here. We have some great topics for us tonight. I first want to introduce who's hanging out with me. By the way, my name is Rob. The beautiful Janelle is hanging out with me. Say hi, hi.
Hi, hi.
Yeah. All right. And then, as well, I have the handsome, the bearded one, Santiago, the Lord Bizwah.
Hey.
All right. So like I said, we have some great topics tonight. Let's get right into it. The first topic at hand is going to be Marvel's Captain America Civil War. 1 week from today, we will be sitting down to be watching this movie. The Russo brothers are back. They knocked it off with Winter Soldier. They came out of nowhere. These guys did Arrested Development, Community, Animal Practice. How does this even line up for you to do Winter Soldier? Santi, what do you think of this movie?
I honestly am so excited for it that I just did a 1.5 day binge on Marvel movies. So started with Avengers, the first Avengers. Then I watched Captain America Winter Soldier and Iron Man 3. And then I just watched Age of Ultron. Planning on probably watching Ant-Man as well, just because he's making an appearance.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah. And so that's how excited I am. Just wasted my 2 days off.
Not
a waste.
Janelle, what do you think? You just finished watching Winter Soldier.
I did. I haven't watched it since it came out, so I was totally felt like I needed to watch it again so I can sit here with you guys. I mean, it's emotional. I mean, especially with the Bucky character, I was you just get emotional with that whole instance, and so I'm coming into Civil War going Team Bucky. I'm so excited.
For sure.
I'm glad that Nick's back. I hope we get to see him in the next one. I don't think I've seen any previews with him in it.
If he's in it, it's going to be very, very,
very
very
small.
Little. Yeah.
Right. But I'm just glad he's alive, and I'm glad he's there. I'm excited for Black Panther. I don't really have a history with him. I don't know much.
Not many
but
people
his
do.
character looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of excited about that.
I'm just glad that there's going to be another brother in the
Right?
Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Right?
Yes.
Anthony Mackie was getting kind of lonely, and he needs another superhero because Samuel L. Jackson with one eye, he ain't doing a whole lot lately.
No.
Falcon.
Well, yeah, that's Anthony Mackie's the Falcon.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, no. Okay, here's the thing. Here's one thing that came up when I was rewatching Winter Soldier is I noticed that one of the guys that ended up hospitalized is Crossbones. I didn't realize that they already introduced Crossbones. They don't tell you it's Crossbones. But he's one of the guys that's in the strike team that's constantly after
The one that got burned
Cap.
up real bad.
Yes.
Okay.
The full body burns.
Yes.
He's Crossbones. I didn't notice that.
Oh, I had no clue.
Yeah. All of a sudden it clicked when they threw him on at the end of the movie.
Right,
They
I just
threw him
saw
on
it
the
at
table.
the end. I didn't even think twice about him being Crossbones.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the antagonist that sparks all of this then.
Right.
Him and Baron Zemo.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
That
No,
is
I did until yesterday, and I was like, whoa.
Right. Well, I remembered seeing the guy at the end of the movie, and I was like...
20 minutes ago.
Right, yeah, we were just watching it, and I was just like, oh, that's really interesting that he's not dead, and they threw him on the... I didn't think twice about him being Crossbones.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
So that's the thing. All the reviews are in so far. Multiple people are saying this is the greatest superhero movie ever.
It's going to be up there, definitely almost number one.
Yeah, well, I mean,
emotionally.
Yeah. For me, up to this point, the first Avengers has been my number one. And everything I've read says that I'm not going to be disappointed.
The trailers suck in emotionally.
Yeah, although I think it's weird that they did 32 different TV spots, but...
Right?
I mean...
We even watched the Audi commercial, which was half of the chase.
Yeah,
I mean, there was you could...
Audi commercial?
Yeah.
Why, That was. I thought I was like watching a trailer.
Yeah, you could tell when like it cut out of like what was actually in the movie versus what was in the trailer. So that was pretty cool though.
Yeah.
But we've talked about Civil War a couple times. I'm excited for multiple reasons. I mean, there is so much that's going on. The comic book run was awesome. It was tragic. It was horrible, and I'm wondering where they're going to end up. One of the things that like some of the people are talking about is how is this going to lead into Infinity War? How do you feel that we're going to end this movie? This could be a real tragic movie where how are they going to get their shit together for Infinity War, which means Thanos is coming, yet we're having this giant war with no the heroes.
I think that's going to be the setup for Infinity Wars, is that everybody's going to be despondent. Nobody's going to have a cohesive idea. Nobody's going to be a team player.
Yeah.
And then that's when Thanos is going to show up.
And then they all going to come together and go
Right.
against him.
Well, after they each individually get their asses
Right,
kicked,
yeah.
because that's the way I would do it.
Yeah.
That's the way the comics always did it.
Yeah.
Is that everybody gets theirs. There's sort of their recompense, their punishment for, throwing friendships down the drain, for being petty.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly.
Comic book karma.
Comic book karma. The big bad, this time it's going to be Thanos, shows up, slaps everybody with some truth, and then they have to band together.
Well, I think that's what Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is going to be partially a big player in that, is whatever's going down in that movie, Thanos is probably going to step off his seat finally in that movie and say, I'm going for Earth. And now it's going to be up to the Guardians to zip to Earth, talk to what is left of the Avengers, whatever version we're going to be seeing.
That'd be awesome to see all those characters meshing
Right.
with Earth's characters.
Well, and one of the things that I'm really interested in is now we have Doctor Strange
Yes.
as well.
And they mentioned him in
At the end, in the middle of Civil War, or
Yeah, they
Winter
did.
Soldier.
In the comics, one of the way the Avengers end up getting to Thanos, if I remember right, is because Doctor Strange opens up a portal.
And I've said that.
Yeah, I've heard that a couple different spots, but I don't agree. I think Thanos is coming to Earth.
Which I think so too.
I think what's probably going to happen is he's going to come to Earth and create a situation and a problem, and maybe, or even send one of his lackeys to Earth, and then it's going to spawn from there. Maybe that's where Strange will come in and then zip them to Thanos, but I think the fight's coming to Earth first, for
Well,
sure.
I did hear I've read your.
Yeah.
Before,
Yeah, I honestly don't know a whole lot.
I
So
ran
I'm
it across Rami. He kind of said what he just said.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard what you said before on social media. So
yeah, but I mean cinematically,
Yeah.
it would be much more of a threat, much more
yeah.
scary for people to think that here comes Thanos to Earth.
Yeah. Well, I think part of that comes off of Avengers. At the end, his mouth guy turns around and he says to challenge Earth would be to court death. And so that's why the point of, I think Thanos has to come to Earth. I think that's the idea. He's going to come to their playground and fuck with them. So
Can you
Well, and
imagine
then
the
at-
action scenes in that movie? Oh
Right.
my god.
They're going to be radical. Well, and especially because they've said that they're going to have something insane like 40 Marvel characters in this movie.
Oh my god.
And then to actually further your point about Thanos coming to Earth, at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, after the Infinity Stone has been saved by Quill and the other Guardians,
right.
Thanos grabs the Infinity Gauntlet. He puts it on and he says, I guess I have to do it myself. And it's like, oh, it's on.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
you
big
know that he's gonna just start taking control at that point.
And I think what's going to be really cool is to see all of these actors on the same stage. I mean, Civil War is already continuing the Avengers and putting, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and all of these huge actors on the same stage. Now you're going to add Benedict Cumberbatch and Chris Pratt and, Zoe Saldana and all of these, Batista would be on there, and I don't know how they're going to do Rocket Raccoon, and I know
Oh, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper. I know he does some of the CGI where they do the
motion
little
cap.
balls. Yeah, the motion capture where they do the balls on his face, and he actually sits next to him.
Oh.
So it was really funny because you watch some of the background stuff. You see Batista patting his head like he does in the movie, but it's actually Bradley Cooper sitting there. So I am so stoked for Civil War. I cannot wait. It kills me that they did the whole month in advance screening.
For all the critics and
Right.
yeah.
I think that's kind of trash because
Well, then they gave it to the UK before us.
yeah, it's coming out now for the UK.
Yeah,
they get it a week
I looked
ahead of
up
time.
a little bit earlier. They already made like 14
Yeah.
mil over there.
Wow.
This movie
So-
is going to break 200 million.
Oh
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
easily.
It's going to destroy it.
And that was like 6 hours ago. I looked at that 7 hours ago.
I almost can see this movie threatening Star Wars
yeah. Right.
opening weekend,
Right.
That's crazy thought.
big time.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy thought.
but that's what I don't like is all of these things happening beforehand. You have to be dodgy on the internet, and it's like even watching some of the other review guys. They're dancing around. They don't want to talk about things, and they're talking about things that I don't like. Like they talk about like Infinity War, and they mention characters, and I'm like, well, did you just ruin the movie? Like now I know he lives or this guy lives.
Right. Right.
I don't like that. That to me, I think is kind of
Well, I think you
ruined
just
some
need
of
to
it
look
for
at
me.
It as like somebody's opinion.
Right.
Well, it's not, but it's not even their opinion. But they're kind of ruining the idea that they talk about a character being in Infinity War. Well, I don't even know if he's going to get out of Civil War.
Right.
So,
Right.
but on the topic of characters dying, in the Civil War comic book, there are a number of heroes that die. The original X-Men team that started the whole conversation that turned into Civil War, there was like 5 or 6 of them that died. I would say there's probably somewhere near 8 or 9, maybe 10 that die in the comics. Obviously, this is much smaller scale. We don't have all the X-Men. We don't have the large number of superheroes. We don't have...
But he said they're bringing like 40.
But that's for Infinity War.
Oh, that's for Infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Civil War is
I can-
much smaller.
yeah.
It's probably like 20 people at the most,
Something like that.
maybe.
Okay.
I mean, you only see like 7 or 8 on each side in that airport run at each other's scene, and then they
Yeah.
added Spider-Man later, and there's rumors for other superheroes showing up. Over under on 5 superheroes dying in this movie.
I'm
Under.
yeah, I would say under.
Okay.
I don't think they've got the
That many people way out.
Yeah.
Out of
I think
the-
Infinity War is
They're
where
gonna need
they're gonna
Right.
2, maybe 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking 3. Honestly, that's kind of where I've been setting on. I've got a couple people in my head that might not get out of this. So,
Us fans
Yeah.
will just get a little pissed if you start ripping people away from us.
well, I agree, but I almost feel like they might even redshirt a couple superheroes. They'll bring them in just to die.
yeah.
No, yeah. As a writer, I can see that, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, that
So,
I
Well,
think
we'll
the
see.
fans will still be upset.
so that was Civil War. Let's move on to our next topic. Janelle, you had an awesome question the other night, and I'm going to read the question off, and then I'm going to throw it at you, and I'll introduce it here just for a second. But so here's the question. It says, all of our great directors are climbing in age. Are you worried that we will, in 10 to 20 years, be left with disappointments? If not, who do you think will dominate the next generation of movies? So the question is, we have these older directors, these big guys, these big names, like Spielberg, he's 69, Ridley Scott, 78, Eastwood, 85, Lucas, 71, Cameron, 61, Burton, on the younger side of all of them, is only 57.
Right.
So what do you think?
I just feel like I mean, we've grew up with these people in our lives for so long. I mean, we're going to be really picky about who replaces them, and are we going to be so picky that we're just not liking a lot of stuff that comes out? And I'm hoping that there is these creative geniuses to just start opening their mind, coming out, and taking over, even if it's side by side with a bigger director or something. You know, I'm really scared for the next generation in a way. It's like you're not going to have who we had, and I don't know. I just
I'm not scared.
You're not
I'm
scared?
50-50 on it. But what
I'm
do you
not
think?
scared. I am not scared because we have people like number one, J.J. Abrams,
No,
who
yes, and
who
we talked about
feels like Spielberg in a lot of ways.
He does.
I guarantee he's going to be a piece of
The
that.
the only thing that, like, if you take his current record, yeah, he's got some awesome movies, but does he have Spielberg-esque movies?
But he
Has
does
he-
the first episodes basically of everything, and then he lets go of them and lets everybody else do sequels.
That has been his lately. I mean, he snuck in, Cloverfield and whatnot. But go ahead.
The other thing is though, I mean, we've got Gareth Edwards, who's starting to really come out of the woodwork. We've got Ben Affleck.
What did Gareth.
Gareth Edwards did Godzilla,
Yes.
and he's doing Rogue One.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we have actors that are going to start looking at it, like Ben Affleck,
Right.
who did Gone Baby Gone, Argo, and he's going to be doing Batman.
Yeah.
Then we have people that like their work,
Mhm.
but you don't necessarily know their names.
Sure.
So like Scott Derrickson, he did the possession of Emily Rose,
Yes.
Okay.
The Day Earth Stood Still, and Sinister.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, I mean, they're not bad. Not at all.
I mean, The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original, is still significantly better. That one was weird, but Sinister was an awesome fucking movie. So.
Mm-hmm. And the people I've been pointing out right here, they're already in their 40s and stuff, which is generally speaking.
Yeah, but 40s is a great age for.
Right. These guys still have.
Yeah.
You start kind of in a way.
Exactly. These guys still have 20 to 30 years in their
Yeah,
career.
because look at the ones we have now. They're like 70s and 80s, and they're
Exactly.
still doing amazing.
Well, right, and that's where, like, I'm 50-50. If you take some of the best movies over the last couple of years, what was the best movie of last year? Well, some would argue The Martian. Well, who did The Martian? James Cameron. Or Ridley Scott. So, and then we got, like, James Cameron. We're like, oh, what is his next best epic? Where he did Titanic, and then he did Avatar.
Yeah, he's got signed on for like 5 more Avatars. Or
Well, right,
something.
he's got 4 that he's going to make. Now,
Jeez.
that seems excessive, but it is James Cameron, and that's the idea: is do we have somebody? If those 4 movies go off and they're like the greatest thing ever, can anybody ever live up to that?
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be somebody out there. I understand your point of view, Sanjay, like 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see it.
Right, I agree.
And I think because they're still alive, I just can't see it. And I'm hoping that when they do pass, I get to see these amazing people come out of the woodworks.
And I think we are, because the Russo brothers, like we said, they came out of comedy crap, where like the Community, yeah, it's a good show, but is it one of the better comedies? Not really. It's up there, but then they all of a sudden do Winter Soldier. Now, if you look at Winter Soldier as a whole,
Winter Soldier.
it was
emotional to me.
so good. It had these great
I cried like 3 times.
Well, yeah, no, it has these ups and downs, and it has these great comedic timing. Even Captain's line before they fight in the elevator. Before we get started, anybody want to get out? It's funny, but then it leads into one of the best action scenes ever. He's literally in like this 8x6 cube, and he fights off like 15 people.
While he's being magnetized against the side of the
Right,
elevator.
yeah. It just shows his strength and his ingenuity to battle through this situation. And then one guy's like, oh, it's not personal. And it sure feels personal. And he, fucking throws the guy through the window and shit,
uber personal.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And I think Russo brothers are lining up to not just do great superhero movies, but give us the next great movies. As well as, like, James Gunn doing Guardians of the Galaxy. It was funny. It was
amazing.
Oh, it was so good. And he's done what was the other movie he did? Slither? Is
Yes.
he Slither?
I
He's Slither.
love
Slither.
Right. And Slither is
I watched it
so
like 100 million
good.
times. So good. And it's got comedy in it. So it's just it's totally like Guardians. He's like got really serious, but he lightens
Yes.
it up.
And I love those movies. Are they E.T. almost to a point? We just watched E.T. recently. I was laughing through half that fucking movie. When he gets smashed in the head of the door, he falls over. He falls over drunk in the kitchen.
Yes.
Oh my god, that was so funny. And I wasn't Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't laughing at it like this is stupid. It's a little dated, but oh my god, it was so
you
good.
watched
And then
it when you were younger with a different sense of humor.
Oh, exactly.
Exactly.
And then now, like, older, I actually did a review for it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, because I watched it and I was like, God, it makes me feel so good to watch this
Yeah.
again.
Because they put it on Netflix
Yeah.
recently. So, yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that the Marvel thing is not only discovering good directors, but cultivating them, because they do have Kevin Feige has a very firm grip on the tone of the movies. You know, really, the directors are there as facilitators, just like when filming, you know, or directing TV. They're there to make decisions, and you know, they get to put their own little flares on it, like Joss Whedon with Avengers and Age of Ultron. There are specific jokes that just definitely feel Joss Whedon, like in Age of Ultron, when the cars drop off the bridge as Sokovia is raising up, and they bring the cars back up, and as they're walking away, you can see in the background one of the driver of one of the cars opens up his door and falls out and starts puking. That's a Joss Whedon joke. You know, the tilted cameras that give you these perfectly aligned comic book panels. Yeah. That's a Joss Whedon thing. He loves tilting the camera. And so you get things like that. But then you also get, I mean, we're like the Russo brothers. They're a huge thing. Yes. But then we're also getting we're getting like Shane Black. Okay, Shane Black has been around for a while. But nobody another name that you don't necessarily know. But you
I was going to say, I don't know this one.
He wrote Lethal Weapon. The Last Boy Scout.
Really?
Last Action Hero.
Oh my god.
Good
he
movie.
Directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh. Wow.
And then Iron Man 3, of course, was like the big one that everybody was like, wait a minute, this guy. Then now he's got The Nice Guys coming out, which I don't know anything about. And then his next project, The Predator.
I've heard that.
You know, so...
Okay, now I know the name. Okay, yeah, I heard about the new Predator coming out. Yeah.
For sure.
You know, and then let's see. I pulled up a bunch of names. Let's see. Jon Favreau.
That's who I was going to mention next.
Let's talk about Jon Favreau for a minute. So, did Elf.
Yeah.
Did Zathura. You know, so already kind of had a neat name for himself. And then all of a sudden, Iron Man 1 and 2.
Which I thought was so funny because you see him, and I always just picture him as the bumbling idiot in Iron Man.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you put the name, and you look up on IMDb, and you're like, wait, he directed it? No shit. And I was fucking blown away.
And, I mean, the man gave comic book movies legitimacy.
Right.
So, already, he's in the pantheon.
Yeah. You don't have the MCU without Jon Favreau's Iron Man.
Exactly. And then he comes out with Jungle Book. Which, honestly, you know, there's part of me that wishes that we could do it without all the green screens and special effects, but at the same time, it's effectively done.
Yeah, I mean, how you put all these animals in a room?
Well, I think that's the idea. Is we looked at like the prequels, and all of those movies that just use the CGI to an extreme that it didn't need to be. Even like the last two Matrixes. They took that CGI and just went way overboard with it and just became no fun.
It's an evolution of technology.
Exactly.
Because at that point, it couldn't be believable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're finally at a point now where it can be believable.
Yeah. Right.
Which actually, briefly, that's my big issue with Age of Ultron, is that the CGI in that specific movie is so bad that it just drew me out of it.
It was not up to par. It was
weird.
okay, but it was not up to par.
I almost wonder if it's because they had so many shots to do with that had special effects that they just ran out of time to refine them.
Well, I think some of it may or may not have been a time constraint. Because like some of the things we're learning about Civil War is that the Russo brothers brought in some of their friends, and it was like a handful of directors
Yeah, they
to
brought in other
specifically,
directors to
yeah,
help,
to direct specific scenes
Hmm.
and just advance the thing. And so like there was probably maybe 10 directors sitting on this set working through all the problems, or not even just 10 in one set, but they had like 2 guys over here that weren't the Russo brothers directing a scene, so that there was a depth to it. So like where
Wow.
Josh Whedon got super overwhelmed with Ultron,
Yeah.
and that's why he ended up pulling out, and that's why he's not doing Marvel movies anymore. You know, he's got his hand in different things, but he got overwhelmed. And I remember like hearing different people saying they were on set and Josh just looked like he was just a mess.
Yeah.
You know, he's a ragdoll running
He
around.
actually, I guess there are talks about him coming back to the MCU for Captain Marvel.
That would be cool. Like a
That-
standalone Captain Marvel?
Yes.
I
A
can see them
standalone
doing
Captain
that.
Marvel. And I mean, yeah, especially with Buffy.
Yeah.
You know, he loves having, and even Serenity. He
Mhm.
loves having strong female
Absolutely.
leads. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you give him Captain Marvel, take
Mhm.
my fucking money.
Yeah. And I think Josh Whedon's another one to make this argument to why
Exactly.
we have good hands. He's great with comedy. He's great with drama. You know, Buffy was that great drama, comedy, campiness that is that show, and it was so much fun. It was so good, you know. And I'm looking forward to what else he can do. Like Sam Raimi is another one that is up there in age. That those Evil Dead movies, they're so campy. They are the epitome of horror campiness,
They're
but
my
they are
favorite all-time.
fantastic. Exactly. So I mean, you are a horror buff. You love horror.
Oh my god.
The Conjuring's about to come out, the second one.
And I loved the first one.
Right. So that director, I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Oh,
Right.
I totally have this.
Because he's doing
James Wan.
yes, or no.
Yes. James Wan is because he did. Well, hold on.
I mean, they're using
He's doing Aquaman. That's what he's doing.
Aquaman.
He's in DC, not Marvel.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's a
Well, I ended up finding some behind the scenes footage of them filming Evil Dead,
Mhm.
and it was, oh my god, it was so amazing. But I mean, they were doing. I mean, those poor girls had to do these crazy demonic scenes
Mhm.
over and
Mhm,
over
mhm.
and over again. And they're like, no, you need to make yourself sound a little more gargly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was so cool to see.
Yeah, and then that's some of the behind the scenes with I saw him recently with Jungle Book. Like it was like a 2-minute behind the scenes thing. It was really cool. There's a moment where Mowgli is sitting on Baloo's belly and they're floating down the river, and in the scene he's interacting with Baloo, and you know it's all CGI because the bear is not really there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in
They
the
had that
behind
one
the
guy
scenes,
standing in the water, like flicking water.
that was
on-
Jon Favreau.
Okay.
He was standing in the water doing the singing, going back and forth with Mowgli.
Flipping water on
Yeah.
him and stuff.
So he was
It really
actually
cool.
playing out what the bear did in the scene.
And they actually used okay. So you guys know the CGI.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
actually used real footage of animals,
Yeah.
but just kind of layered over on the face.
Right.
and stuff
That's
like
what
that.
that's what I've
So
heard.
I-
And
Yeah.
I was really happy about that.
which again, it's like that's proof of the evolution of technology.
Yeah.
That now we're at a place where we can do stuff like that,
Right.
hmm
and you almost lose any excuse to have shoddy special effects.
Yeah.
Especially
Step it
Deadpool.
up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Tim Miller,
Yeah.
the man's a genius. The man is a genius.
Mhm.
That it's been said. You even said it.
Yeah.
Colossus was so incredibly believable.
100%.
There was only a couple of shots where I was like, okay, well that was CGI, but you could have told me that they had a guy in a costume and I would have bought it.
hmm
I'd be like, oh okay,
Especially when he was just standing there.
yeah,
When you talk with the face, you can kind of get some CGI out of it, and I was okay. I mean, that's okay. That's whatever.
right.
But when he was standing there, there was so many times where I just went, "Oh, he's there." I totally forgot about it, and that CGI was more believable than 3/4 of the movies that came out last year.
Yeah.
It was so good on such a little budget.
Mhm.
You know, I know they had years to put it all together or whatever, but they're gonna kill it with Deadpool too. So
Yeah.
That's gonna be insanity.
so in the end, I think ultimately what we can say, I think we are in good hands with these directors.
Yes.
Spielberg can retire, and they can all eventually pull away and stop doing what they're doing, and I think they have brought up good people. The one that hasn't been mentioned is Ryan Coogler, who did Creed.
Yes. That
And
was one that I
Creed.
was going to bring up.
I still have not sat down and watched the movie. It is on my list of movies that I have not seen that I need to sit down and see, but everybody raves about him. This dude's like 29 years old.
All right.
And he killed it with this movie. He's doing Black Panther. And from what I understand, if Marvel is trusting somebody to do this movie, you're good.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I asked the question because I really wanted to hear feedback, and that's why I was gonna ask
Yeah.
Collider.
No, yeah.
What do you guys think? Who
Yeah.
do you what do you guys think about that? So I want to hear their opinion.
Right.
So I mean I respect their opinion, so I want to hear it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they are an inspiration to me. And so, well, how about we roll into the next topic and whatnot. So, but speaking of Collider, they had they were posed the question, and we ended up having an awesome discussion about it. And I thought, you know what, this is a question I think needs to be fleshed out more. And so the question comes down to, why do the majority of child actors not make it as adults? There's a number of actors that we can go on, and some of them don't even live to be adults, you know, let alone make it as acting adults. So, Santi, we talked a lot about this session. I'm very curious what you think, because I just threw the question at you in a text, so I don't actually know what your opinion is. So what do you think?
I'm gonna go kind of back in my life. In middle school and in high school, it was really easy to figure out which kids were homeschooled or went to a private school
I can still figure that out.
because they were just off.
They were.
They just don't learn the same social skills
Right.
that you do going to public school.
Which is kind of like when you're a child actor, you're so
Exactly.
confined into this world.
Because not only are you constantly on set, therefore you only have a tutor teaching you,
Right.
but then you are contractually binded to like maintain a specific look.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
You can't get your hair cut.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, you know, the hairdresser for your movie.
Right.
You can't,
Right.
you know, change the color of
And
your
if you
hair.
go on the mentality of a child,
Yeah.
they're so easy to, you know, you can get into their heads, and then they take whatever is around them and they morph themselves into that. So, and that's where I come in, right where I was talking about. I was feeling like, you know, they get kind of like stuck on
They're
that
stunted.
character. Okay, so I'm supposed to be,
Mhm.
you know, Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone.
Well, right.
And he does it how many times? And everybody's like, that's the All-American Kid. He's this, that, and this. And he kind of gets stuck
Right.
in that.
Such good.
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin is one of the bigger ones because he was a
Right.
great, because he did My Girl too, and I love that fucking
Oh,
movie.
that was an amazing
yeah.
movie.
I mean, I watched it again as an adult, and I was fucking bawling through it.
Right, but he
Yeah.
gets
I
stuck
never
in
realized
that-
how tragic it really was, but
It was fucking
But
beast.
but that's yeah,
He
exactly.
gets stuck in that mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
So that he doesn't really ever get to grow up. So when
Yeah.
he does no longer get movies, because now you're not the cute kid anymore.
Yeah.
But
You
at
know what
the
I mean?
same time, just because you're not doing movies, then all of a sudden, at a time of your life where most people,
Mhm.
normal people,
Right.
fuck up constantly,
Right.
in our teens,
They're
and our
not allowed
20s,
to.
we constantly fuck up.
Yeah.
But they are under a microscope.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Life
And it's-
experiences.
That's where I came into like
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was huge, and then she got really heavy into drugs and alcohol. We didn't know if she was gonna make it and come back in it. She totally whooped it around and made it amazing.
Yeah.
She's
Life
come
herself.
back lately. She's turned herself around. I mean, she had a long run where like what's
she
her
was
name?
drinking and going to clubs at like 12.
Yeah.
you know?
Right. Well, but like take Lindsay Lohan. She was almost in the same category as Drew, and
Lord.
she is just a fucking mess. She's
Yeah.
never come out of it.
Right.
She's got more mugshots than
we
Charles Manson. So
Yeah.
We had River Phoenix.
Yeah.
We
yes,
had.
I mean but he was. Rivers. I don't know how to explain River.
River is almost like his characters that he played. I feel like that's how he really felt in his real life.
Yeah.
So I
kinda
felt
got
like he
swept
had
up in the
some.
fame.
Yeah.
He did.
And he was
And
kind of.
what
And he got Corey Feldman. Or
Yes.
is it-
Corey Hyman.
Haim.
Hyman. I don't know how to
Corey
pronounce
Haim,
it. Hyman.
dear.
Hyman. Yeah.
Yes, Corey Haim. Yes, he got caught up into the
The eye is
fame and
silent.
then drugs and then whatever. But then the big one that I wanted to talk about, or the two, was how hard it was for who did Harry Potter?
Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah. Daniel
Okay.
Radcliffe.
Radcliffe and
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. How hard it was for them to pull themselves out of the character.
Right.
Everybody sees them as.
Yeah.
You
Right.
see him, you go, hey, Harry Potter. Hey,
Exactly.
Bilbo. Or, I mean,
Frodo.
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 Well, and even
You
before
can't-
Frodo, he was the good son.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he was still that kind of Frodo character.
Well, I mean,
Elijah
Elijah Wood's
was in that, too.
Elijah Wood's life is almost like his character from Green Street Hooligans.
And I
He
love
is
Green
so
Street
his
Hooligans.
American schooled
But I think
non-rule
that
breaking
movie
character.
helped pull him out of,
Yeah,
of the Lord of the Rings character.
some because at the end he was kind of that badass,
But
but
you
he's
love
still
that he got his ass beat, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and
without
that's
getting hurt and pain and
well,
living.
that's life experience.
Right.
That's like Leonardo DiCaprio. He was this big child star. He had his sitcom, then he disappeared.
Not really.
Well, kinda.
Kind of, sort of, but not really.
But then all of a sudden he showed up again for like Titanic, but he had
But
this
didn't
life
hear
experience. So
anything bad really about him either. I
No,
think
and that's
Leonardo
good.
DiCaprio is
Yeah.
an example of
yes,
what
can go
we-
right?
yes through a child actor.
Dakota Fanning is
It-
another.
Dakota Fanning.
She's
Yeah.
kind of taken a break. She did the Twilight movies,
Right.
yeah,
and she did the Runaways.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's kind of
She's
taken a
disappeared.
break. And yeah, she's
little bit,
leading a
yeah.
normal life.
Yeah.
I bet you we'll see her again.
Oh yeah.
Oh
She is
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And she is.
She's amazing.
As soon as she comes back, she's gonna be in the running for Oscars.
Yep.
Probably.
It's gonna happen.
And that's how I think she's gonna do like Leonardo did. She's just gonna say she's gonna take her life seriously like Leonardo did. I mean, Leonardo totally took his life
Emma
seriously.
Watson
Yeah.
is
Watson.
another amazing example of what
Oh,
happened.
Perks of being a wallflower. I mean, I already loved her as Hermione, but that
Right.
character from Perks.
Right.
Come
and then
on.
Now she's a UN rep. Like that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's a
But-
UN representative.
Oh, that's
Right.
awesome.
And that's the same with like Natalie Portman. She was this huge actress as a kid, and then got herself educated. She's like a fucking doctor now or something even. And
That's like Blossom too.
yeah, no, for sure.
What's her name on Big Bang?
Oh, jeez.
Maya,
Yeah, I mean she was in
something or
Blossom
other.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you don't see her
she's
for a
neural
long time.
scientist.
Right.
Yeah, and now she goes to college and she's a freaking scientist, and now she's back on one of the biggest shows ever.
Yeah, and she's won an award for supporting actor.
Yeah.
So, the one that's one of them that I was thinking about was Leonardo. The other one is like Michael J. Fox. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a sitcom kid too that did his thing, and all of a sudden was put in Back to the Future, and we're like, why is he being put in Back to the Future? Well, I didn't because it came
Family
it came out when I was young.
He
Yeah,
in
Family Ties. That's what it was. I couldn't think of what the show was. But then all of a sudden, like Michael J. Fox blew up with Back to the Future. Unfortunately, he got himself, he's sick and Parkinson's, and it's just so tragic because he's amazing.
Yeah.
They did the reunion thing, and he showed up at on a couple of the late night shows, and he was trying to play his character, and it feels so bad for him.
I just think
But-
really it's about who the child's parents are. Because if you look at Macaulay
Yes.
Culkin, the dad
Yeah.
tried to steal all the
managers and
money.
manager-
Exactly.
Right?
managers will
Then you
just
had
really-
the twins.
Olsen twins.
The Olsen twins.
Yeah, fucked
and
up.
They had to fight with their parents. When you got greedy parents that are just looking at you as like this money bank,
Mm-hmm.
Well, and
they're gonna be fucked up.
there's actually a really good point there too, because we've got the Olsen twins, and then now we have Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
their younger sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
She wasn't she wasn't merchandised
No.
like her older sisters were.
Mm-hmm.
And look at how good she is.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she seems super sweet.
Yeah.
Every interview I see her in, she's just totally sincere and just a darling.
Yeah, and even the youngest McCulkin.
Oh, Kieran?
Yeah, he ended up doing pretty good. And wasn't he in The Ring? Or was that the middle one? Because there's three. There's Macaulay, and then there's two
and then,
more.
Yeah, there's like Kieran Culkin. And
the middle one did like a really dark movie.
Igby Goes Down.
Yeah.
I fucking love Igby
Isn't
Goes
it
Down.
good?
But, well, okay, here's the best part. I had a teacher in high school that we read Catcher in the Rye, and then she was like, "Okay, here's a movie. You have to get a permission slip signed by your parents for me to show it to you. But there's this movie that's just like, it's not really based on it, but it's just like this loose interpretation, and it's really good."
Yeah.
And we watched it, and it was like, not only did Catcher in the Rye change my life, because I was like, oh my god, there's somebody that actually like gets me and feels like me.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched Igby Goes Down, and I remember I was just sitting by myself in the room, like, well, in the corner of the classroom, everybody else is just watching the movie.
Right.
I'm sitting there losing my shit.
Right.
Right.
But,
No, I'm glad that the brothers are getting a chance, and they're not totally following. We don't hear much about the press about anything negative about him.
well,
so.
yeah, now that Macaulay has custody of him,
And did you see that Macaulay is making his own movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly.
It really does.
And he's playing a character of himself.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty
And
much.
you know what? That actually brings up Neil Patrick Harris. Is
Yeah.
another good great
Right.
example.
Yeah,
Doogie
exactly.
Because he was Doogie
Howser.
Howser, and now, like, I mean, he's just a huge thing. I cannot wait to see him in Series of
Yeah.
Unfortunate Events.
Oh my God.
I saw. Did you guys see the picture
Yes.
of him in makeup?
Yeah.
Oh my
He
god.
looks a lot closer to the character than Jim Carrey did.
Well, and even Jim Carrey did such a great job,
Yeah.
in my
Oh
opinion.
my God, I love
He
Jim
did.
Carrey no matter
He
what
was
does, I love him.
amazing.
Yeah.
No matter.
I think Neil Patrick Harris will kill it. I think he'll probably be closer to it. Where, I mean, yes, Jim Carrey was really good, but Jim Carrey is also Jim Carrey. So a little bit of Jim Carrey comes through.
Yeah, his personality comes out in every role.
Yeah.
I think. And I think that's one of the reasons I really love him.
Yeah.
Because I love his personality.
Yeah, but I love Neil Patrick Harris as Barney Stinson in How You Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
And we watched that entire run, and I love that show to death.
So good.
And I mean,
Excuse me
he's
while I eat a
awesome.
sandwich.
He's so cool.
I eat the sandwich. You got your lettuce on your sandwich?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the other ones that I thought of too, just as quick examples, was like Kirsten Dunst, Sean Austin,
Mm-hmm.
and Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Right? He started like
Ooh,
Lassie.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think Ron is probably, I mean, Leonardo has gone big time, but I think Ron has even gone farther because he is directing some huge movies.
Always.
And I think that kind of plays into some of the last question.
Yeah, I
He's
can't believe I
another
forgot
director.
Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and
Lassie!
about the act. I was talking about actors turning director. Wait until Leonardo DiCaprio decides to direct.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
but
we have
he
no.
said but remember we watched that thing where he said he's not putting himself in that position yet.
Not yet.
Not
Wait
yet.
Until he's older to do
Exactly. Most actors wait until they're in their 40s or 50s.
I mean, Clint Eastwood has destroyed it as a director, but he didn't do it until he was like 50 something.
Yeah.
You know, and so Leo's not too far off. So, like your question, 10 years down the road, Leo's going to be jumping on that train, and he's going to fucking destroy it, big time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's going to be amazing. I mean, he's an amazing actor. He sells everything he plays in.
Tom Hardy. Imagine a movie directed by Tom Hardy.
It might be pretty good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just watched The Revenant, and
Yeah.
those two together on screen, like it was radical. It was.
Don't talk about it because I want to see it. No spoilers.
Don't worry, I won't spoil it. But
I'm waiting.
but I
to see
promise
it.
you, Tom Hardy, like as much as you might hate his character, you're gonna be so impressed with just
exactly.
how
I've been
he-
impressed with everything he's done.
Yeah.
He was, I mean, I love Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception, but Tom Hardy kind of stole a little bit of that movie. Every time he showed up on scene, I was like,
Who is this?
exactly?
Yeah. This guy's a badass. All of a sudden,
Right.
he's got a rocket launcher. You're like, I fucking like him.
Right. I mean, where the fuck did you come from? Yeah, no, he was awesome. And then what was the movie he was in with LaBeouf? The
Lawless.
Oh my god, that was so good.
I don't think I've seen it.
He was
Yes, you have.
amazing.
Yes, it's the gangster movie.
Okay.
Yeah, they're rum runners.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rum runner.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
like they're affected by the formation of the FBI or the early
Yes.
FBI. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, his character in that movie was just so radically
Yeah.
different than who he is,
Yes.
and he just disappeared in that role.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, what he can do with his voice,
Right.
is amazing.
Yeah.
I love what that man can do with his voice. I wish I could do that. I wish.
Yeah.
Practice.
His Bane. I mean, obviously it
Oh, I
wasn't.
can do Bane.
Right, no, yeah. I mean, I loved his Bane. I mean, I got it for what movie it was. I want the comic book Bane ultimately, but his Bane was great. It was so intimidating. It could have been even more so if they drew out more of it, but it was really awesome. You know, I still haven't seen the one where he plays two different parts, where he's the brothers.
Legend?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that yet
that is
either.
on my need to see list.
As soon as it drops on Blu-ray,
Yeah.
if it hasn't yet.
It might have. I don't know.
Oh, I gotta
Unfortunately,
look.
my list of movies I need to see is really big.
Really
Yeah,
long.
same.
And I need to move some of these down.
Yeah,
so.
maybe
Hard.
weed some out.
Yeah.
Look at him. Go. Okay. Well, you know, I don't need to see like The Good Dinosaur.
This weekend, we have more anime movies coming out. We have Ratchet and Clank, which I saw a really cool interview with the voice actors,
Right.
so I'm kind of interested in it. We also have Mother's Day.
Julia
I think.
Roberts.
Not a
and-
no.
It's a romantic comedy.
Yeah, I
It's
Rom-com.
not.
I mean, I probably would the main part I would like was Julia Roberts, but
I
It's
like
the
Julia
same
Roberts,
director as Pretty Woman.
okay.
but yeah, and he also did the Valentine's movie where he gets all the actors to come together.
Yeah.
Like Ashton Kutcher in it
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
It's the same concept, but get a ensemble of actors.
Well,
here.
Mother's Day is this
Right. Well, I
weekend.
saw the poster, and Julia Roberts' haircut is just like my ex-wife, so I'm automatically not seeing this movie because of
Yeah.
that. It's not happening.
I remember we were sitting here watching Collider, and he saw it in the background. He's like,
No.
"No, she's
Yeah.
not allowed to cut her hair like that."
No.
I watched the trailer and it didn't have Jennifer Aniston showing off her booty shorts, so I'm not seeing this movie either.
Right.
I'm sorry. The last couple movies I've seen her in, she strips down. She gets super hot. You know what? Like, I hate to say it, but that's all she's good for me now. Like
You just a shorts girl now.
I just, oh man,
Anything else?
she's gotten so beautiful.
Right.
She has aged well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the other Friends actors have not
No.
done so well. Mostly the guys. But,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I haven't seen Courtney Cox in like 4 or 5 years, so who knows what she's doing. But the third movie that's coming out this week, which actually has piqued my interest, I am mildly tempted to go see
Angry
this,
Birds.
is
No?
that comes out a couple months.
Yeah.
Is Keanu.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
It looks funny.
It looks
It does look
hilarious.
funny.
Key and Peele are awesome.
Yes.
I loved their show.
Yes.
I'm excited to see what they can do with the movie.
No, I think it's gonna be funny, but it's what's funny about it to me when I seen the previews was the previews has the cat like 2, maybe 3 times, and all you see is it jumps, it meows, and it skids.
Yeah.
The rest of the show is just their story,
Yeah.
and they're trying to sell it through the cat. But I'm telling you, it's them.
I just think it's hilarious, like how it's one of those movies that, because I'm a big fan of these, where you take a ridiculous premise but you film it in a serious way.
Well, yeah, you're taking these uppity black guys that live in an uppity life, and then you trying to put them in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and that makes it funny.
Well, that's very Keenan and Peele. Like, I've seen a lot of their YouTube shorts, like, where they take their show and they cut off, like, what is really funny about the show. The best part about the show is that they do that so often that they are these very normal black guys, and then they get themselves in weird situations that make everything awkward, and they almost come off as gay.
And I watched the thing and I instantly, when he's like, "Look what I got," and then he's like, "Oh," I totally thought that they were a couple.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're gay.
Yeah.
First, they're cat lovers. Second, they talk like it. So I was like, oh, this is a gay couple. This is going to be hilarious because gays love cats.
Mm-hmm.
But then they go to scenes where he's like talking to his wife on the phone. I'm like, oh, maybe they're not gay.
Yeah. He meets the girl on the side of the street or
just
something
really
like
white.
that. Yeah. Almost.
Very yuppie.
Out of the three of them, are you interested in any of them? Is it like a?
I gotta go see this or
Yeah, right. So, I guess here's the question: out of any of these movies, are any of them theater worthy, or are they instant home action?
Well, I would say Mother's Day is not gonna get viewed ever.
Not
Most
home
likely.
or at theaters.
Never.
I don't have any interest.
It's
No.
total chick flick.
Ratchet and Clank.
You know you're gonna watch it because you got kids.
Yeah, but
you'll wait. So
I'll catch it on Netflix. You know, it's just especially because the animation on it.
Yeah, it's like very old school cartoony. In a way.
It seems to me it just looks like one of those straight to DVD like Russian made
It looks like you're
Almost.
CGI flicks.
like you're playing Sonic on Sega.
Yeah.
It's very 1990s cartoonish.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not interested in any of them. I'm waiting for next weekend.
I mean, I am almost sold on Keanu, but I want to go see it like the Cinnabar.
Have
Exactly.
Drinks, have some food.
Yeah, exactly. It's a couple drinks movie for me because it is rated R for one, so it is going to have that dark comedy.
And watch it,
Yeah, sure. So it's for me, it's a Cinnabar movie. It's not just a movie to show up on Friday night and go, "Hey, very cool." You know,
Yeah.
I would rather go see Jungle Book again, or even find a movie theater that's playing Deadpool somewhere if I could. You know.
Well, they're playing Batman versus Superman right here at the Pigs, and they're playing Purple Rain.
I would choose Purple Rain over Batman v Superman. So
Yeah.
So.
Once is enough.
Yeah, once in the theaters is enough. I'll pay $10 to see it at home, and then I'll buy it at home for $10 or something like that. I'm not going to see that movie again. But I'm not going to see the movie that they first give us. I want the 4-hour edit cut or whatever.
Yeah.
What
If they released that cut in theaters? Would
I'll
you
go see it.
Yeah.
Instantly. I want to end the show with a comic spotlight. I'm going to do this every Thursday. It's going to either be a brand new comic that just came out this Wednesday, or a comic that has been out in the future or in the past, and I want to highlight it and show people that there is some depth to the comic stories. We are loving all these superhero movies. They have a source. They come from somewhere. And so this week, it goes without mention, we have to talk about Batman 51. And Batman 51 comes from the New 52 storyline that Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo have teamed up to do. It has been an amazing story. It has been an amazing run. And Scott Snyder kind of comes from out of nowhere. This is his first real attempt into comic books, other than he did some detective comics before New 52 came out. Greg Capullo is one of my favorite artists ever, and I will tell you why. His style very much mimics that of Todd McFarlane, so much so that he eventually took over from McFarlane on the Spawn comic run. Batman 51 is the last comic of the Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo run. It is so good, this entire series. I suggest that everybody reads all 51 comics. If anything, just go and read Court of Owls. Scott Snyder brings an amazing new story, creates a brand new bad guy for Batman, and takes Batman down this new journey that just absolutely changes the character. And it is something that I really hope eventually comes to the cinematic universe. But in particular, Batman 51 is an epilogue. It is an epilogue to what Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder have created. It is an epilogue to the story that just ended, which was called Heavyweights. The story is beautiful. It even brought a tear to my eye because it is so well done. Greg Capullo, as an artist, decided he was getting a little burnt out, and instead of letting himself just starting to draw crap, he decided, I'm going to pull away and allow for a future to happen. And he's got many other projects, and you can find him. Look for him on Twitter. He's so cool. He's interactive. So, if anything, find Batman 51 and enjoy it for what it is. But if anything, you need to read all of them to get to what really makes this comic so awesome. And so I say that. Thank you, Greg. I say thank you, Scott. And so that is the comic spotlight of the week, Batman 51. And so with that, that is the end of our Thursday night show. You can find us on Facebook at Outcast Collective. You can find us on Twitter at OCast Collective. You can find us on Instagram at Outcast Collective. You can email us, and I would love to email us because then we can start actually answering your questions. We are at outcastcollectiveemail@gmail.com. So I leave this and I say, Santi, thank you for coming on. It's been fun.
Thank you.
So Santi, thank you for coming on. Where can people find you on the social medias?
On Twitter, I'm at the Lord Bizwah. That's BIZWAH. Facebook.com/the Lord Bizwah. YouTube.com/the Lord Bizwah. I've been having tons of fun doing some YouTube shit. Bunch of stuff coming on the line. And if you're ever interested in No Man's Sky, which is an upcoming video game for the PS4 and PC, I'm going to be doing regular live streams for that when the game launches in June. So, yeah.
That looks pretty cool.
That's what I'm up to.
And so, Janelle, where can people find you on the social medias?
Oh, you're funny. Not worth following. But Gypsy Footed Jedi, at Gypsy Footed Jedi on Twitter. New to Twitter, so it's not crazy.
No.
Other than that, totally hit Facebook up for Outcast Collective.
Absolutely. So, again, thank you guys. Thank you for listening. I hope you like, share, and subscribe to any version that you're listening to this, whether it's iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud.
Which is in the works.
Yes, which is all in the works. YouTube is probably going to happen with this one.
And we got the webpage that's getting ready to be done.
Yes, and we're working on a webpage, which is a Wix.com thing we're doing and stuff like that. So the comic spotlight of the week will be on there as well as other reviews and stuff like that.
So Sunday we got a podcast coming, Game of Thrones.
Yes, we're going to do a review for Game of Thrones every week. Hopefully that'll eventually tie into Penny Dreadful and maybe some other TV shows. Eventually it'll be a TV conversation every week, and we're hoping this will expand. Be patient with us. We're evolving. Give us suggestions, ideas. We are just sitting here. We're excited. I am thrilled to be a part of this and doing everything that we're doing. This has just been a work in progress. I know for Santi, and I've got you here, I can say this, that if it was not for you doing your Lord Bizwah, this would not be happening.
Correct.
You came into my life. You have motivated me to do me and do what I'm doing, and this has come of it. This is a part of it. I'm glad you're on this. I hope you're a continued and regular guest. I know I'm going to be on yours because I'm just excited to be doing this. This is just too much fun. Getting a voice out there, getting heard, and I mean, I don't feel any more at home than behind the mic, and it's just so fucking cool. So thank you. And,
way to make a brown guy blush. Shit. Wow. No, thank you.
So
it's your support that keeps me going.
you're welcome, and everybody, thank you for listening. Have a great weekend.